Hi guys, thanks for joining me. This is a little kind of brief overview of a product that came out very recently called the flat mat, and it's a surface that's kind of been evolving over the last, months. And what it is, it's a new type of felting surface that's designed to go on top of a foam mat. The foam mat provides the density, the flat mat provides the surface, and then we've got toppers that go on the top depending on the colour that you're felting with, so you don't get that cross-contamination. These are the products which are new on the website. We've got a needle felting starter kit now, and the starter kit consists of the foam block. It also consists of 3 needles, and those needles are a 36 star, a 38 spiral, and a 40 spiral. And you also get to choose 5 10-gram balls, any colours that you like, and that's your starter kit. Then we've got the flat mat. The flat mat is, again, everything is divided up so you can order the bits that you want. The flat mat comes with 2 toppers, and then there's the topper pack. So you can purchase the flat mat singularly, the needle felting kit, starter kit, or the topper pack. All of that's individually, or you can have any combination. All the info is on the website. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear this away. We're going to open up these packets and see exactly what's inside. So this is the flat mat, and this one is mine. You can tell it's in a used state. And what it is, see if I can get a close up here. It's a very high density 100% wool mat, and previous videos you may have seen some time ago, I had my own sort of handmade version, and this is where it all started. This is a felting mat, and you can absolutely make one of these yourself. It's a mixture of needle felting and wet felting, and I used that for quite some time. Then I started putting a felt kind of topper over it, because as you can see, whatever surface you use, you're going to pick up fibres from the project that you're creating, and that's why we do these with the toppers. So that's the original flat mat. I've since moved and created this one, and it's a lot neater, it's a lot more compact. I mean, I couldn't make one by hand as easy as sort of dense as this, and it does create a really nice surface for your needles. This is like hitting a dense surface, but it's not going to break your needle. There's no risk, unless you're levering, it's going to stop your needle, which means that it does help in not driving all the way through a project. You kind of get that stop. So that's the mat. They are 250mm by 200mm, the same size as the starter kit piece of foam. In the packet you get 2 toppers, and you get a light one and a dark one just to start you off. Here's my light one. You don't get the filming dot. That's that's for my overhead camera, but you do get one kind of natural colour topper and a black one, and that's just to get you started so that you can swap over. The idea is obviously you change the colour of the topper depending on what colour you're felting with. And then we come into the pack of toppers, which is also available, and there are 10 colours in the topper pack. They're all cut to the same size, so you have a whole set of them like so. And you will just interchange your toppers, and it really does limit the cross-contamination, because even though the flat mat underneath will pick up various fibres as you're felting, as any surface will, because you're changing that topper, you know, what's on top is only ever white or black or red. So that's the overview of the flat mat and the topper set. I'm just going to set up a little felting sort of demo, and then I can show you the actual mat in action. Okay, so I've grabbed the rose petal shape, and I'll make a quick and crude rose petals. I've been working on quite a few rose petals lately, so I might as well just make another one here for you. This mat is on top of my foam block, and I've got the 3 needles that are included in the starter kit, and that will be the 40 spiral, the 38 spiral and the 30 star. To begin with, I'm just going to lay down half of my fibre as if I were felting this properly, and just go around my edges. Now instantly you can really feel the denseness of that foam, that flat mat underneath. You know, you're hitting that and it's stopping, so you're not getting that sort of real driving. You can drive through, obviously, but you have to give it a bit more oomph to actually drive it. You have to mean it. So I'm just going to go round. And I like this because, you know, it's stopping that needle. So there we go. That's that first bit of fibre in. It did occur to me that I'm actually using the old rose template. The new one is the standard 10mm and has a wiring hole. So, but for this it will be fine. I'm just going to pop in the rest of my fibres, go around those edges, and I'm using the 40 spiral. I generally start and end with the 40 spiral. It's one of my it is my favourite needle. If I could only have one needle, it would be this one. It is finer, so a little bit more work is required when actual felting, but it's really good for just gently laying down the fibres in the right place. You don't felt too quickly. So I've got the fibres down. They're very, very loose, very, very lightly tacked. See if I can get a close up. You see, there's hardly anything that's sticking to my surface. So back in. And I guess there's no substitute for actually trying this out for yourself, but especially for the templates, because the flat mat is so flat, the template just sits on top of it really nicely. You know, you've got that density of the foam block underneath, and you can sit quite happily with this on your lap or at a table. There we go. So there's my fibres down. Hardly anything sticking. So at this point I would go up a needle size so I get a little bit of a faster felt on my petal. And again, real light grip on the needle. You don't need to grip it tight. You don't need to drive real hard. The needle will do the work. And having that mat there just to stop it, you know, you really do feel the difference between the mat and the foam. There's very little resistance to the foam, so it's so easy to pierce that surface. Whereas this, you get a real good thud. So those are single needles, which is what most of us use. You'll hear probably in some of my other videos that I talk about multi-punch tools and how they don't react to foam blocks very well. They're great on brush surfaces and sort of rice bags and what have you, but the foam, sometimes you can get away with it, and then other times it just annihilates all your needles in one go. But on the flat mat, of course, it's absolutely fine. And you can use your multi-punch tool. I do apologise the racket that this thing will make on the sound. So felted, back in the template, just go around those edges where we've, you know, it's sort of spread. Get those edges back in, all over it. You can felt in the template, and again, when you feel that hit, you know, you don't have to drive all the way through. Just as soon as you feel it hit that mat. I've got my pen multi-tool as well, and this one has 2 needles in it. I think I've got maybe 240 spirals in it, I don't know. And again, you feel the difference. Obviously I'm using a contrasting colour to what I'm felting. You know, if you're felting red, you'd have the red topper. So there we go. And that's all over. And there's my rose petal. So I would, you know, for felting purposes, I would felt that a bit more, but this isn't about the felting, this is about the mat. Once you're done with your felting, just peel your topper off, and you're good to go for the next one. So that's it for the flat mat. As I said before, this is made from 100% wool. It is beautifully dense. It's about 10 mil thick, at least I think it is, maybe just a tad over, but it's such a joy to work on, which is why I've been so keen to bring this out to you. Like I said, you can get the flat mat on its own, and that just comes with a couple of toppers to start you off. There is a topper pack which includes all 10 colours of toppers, and then there is the starter kit, which is the foam. And the nice thing about the flat mat as well is that you can get a lovely sort of cover for your foam block, and you know, you're never going to wreck it. You're not going to have to keep replacing this foam. The flat mat, when used with the toppers, will last and last and last. So it's, you know, it's not something that's going to be a 5-minute and have to replace kind of a thing. That's the flat mat, topper pack and starter kit. As always, if you've got any questions and if you want to give me some feedback, look me up on Facebook. Do please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that little bell icon, that'll tell you when I upload new videos. And I wish you all a very crafty day.